Birthday Howard, birthday outside, Kyle Yahweh, birthday outside, birthday Kakadash, double honor to the elder apostle, great Milton Ruel. This year, citation of honor put to the truth, across the four corners of the earth. To the freedom power of Yahweh, birthday outside, birthday Kakadash, the Holy Spirit. And who the word early called God, named Howard, who the word early called Jesus Christ, named Howard Shai. If you really like that consistent took off. Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and other line of descendants go back to the 12 tribe of Israel. This is gathering among the nations across the four corners of the earth. This is my hearty call from the Great Millstone, Los Angeles camp, back from the elections. And I will now rest down, Lord willing, be edifying to the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash, the Holy Spirit. And further proof, or another proof, that, captivity here in America, the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Levi, Benjamin had to go through here in America, was part of the curses, They could try to tell you, oh, it didn't happen. Or, Deuteronomy 28 don't fit the so-called Negro here in America. It said these chains used on enslaved people were instruments of both physical restraint and psychological domination. Denied to strip human beings of autonomy and reduce them to property in the eyes of their captors. Made of iron and often cruelly forged, these chains came in many forms: heavy shackles for the ankle, iron collar connected by bars and rings, and manacles that bound wrists tightly together, sometimes joined by a central chain to prevent escape or even upright movement. On slave ships during the transatlantic slave trade, captives were often chained in pairs or rows, confined in spaces so narrow they could barely sit up. Their flesh rubbed raw by the metal that held them for weeks or months at sea. Once on land, chains continued to enforce the missions used during transport, auctions, and punishment, serving as a constant reminder of captivity and control. Beyond their physical cruelty, the clinking of chains became a haunting soundscape of oppression, echoing through generations as a symbol of dehumanization and suffering. How can such an object of metal carry the weight of so much human pain and endurance across centuries? See, it's happened because what our forefathers did, man. Going against that, the law of that commandment, going against the Most High Yahweh. Worshiping other gods, idols, and other stuff. That captivity was the result of that. Let's see. There's Baruch. There's 3 or 4. With Baruch 3 and 8, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment according to all the iniquity of our father, which departed from the Lord our power Yahweh. Alright. Let's go to the 6th Baruch 4. Three. I don't remember how it goes. So, let's start at 15 and jump down. Deuteronomy 28 and 15, but it shall come to pass that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord, and how thy power shall observe to do all his commandment and his statute with thy commanding today, that only curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Alright? 16 on the 68, and all the curses will be subjugated to by not following the law, statute, commandments. Alright? And to this day, we are yet in our captivity. Alright? Verse 48, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. See, this happens. I didn't even play the video.
That was just on. That was just on. Bro, why so heavy? Look at my hand. Trying to hold this up, bro. 18 hours every day.
It's on. This is life change. Life change is used for children or babies. Please take half spoon Italian blood into fire when it's very hot. The kids are eat. Yeah. I have to take this. I use a small padlock to hook it up for them not to be able to eat while walking into the cane plantation or to communicate whenever they are.
Bro, why so heavy?
They got a lot to pay for. Even though it was our curses, But hey, he still gotta pay for it. Alright. Scripture that the Lord required that which is past. Alright. Is yoke as imposed on the neck. A harness. Off of tyranny. Alright. Hey, but the table gonna turn on Esau though. You know. Cause like I mentioned, required that which is past. Alright. Revelation 13 and 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Heareth the patience and the faint in the face of the saint. Alright. So that's what he's talking about, the captivity. Alright. Isaiah 14:1, for the Lord Yahweh, my son, tribe will have mercy on Jacob, and yet it will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. Alright, back in Israel. And a stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. The house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh, my tribe, for servant and handmaid. Alright, you throw Edom at the top of that list. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So we're gonna rule who oppressed us. Edom. All right, they're gonna rule over their oppressors. All right, because they had oppressed us, they're gonna oppress them in the kingdom of heaven. All right, for that 1,000-year period. Okay. Isaiah 33:1, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wilt not spoil, and dealt treacherously, and they shall and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Alright, what the heck? Man, get Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, end with that. Get that. Try